Hey travelers, and welcome to the Travel Enigma. In today's video, we're diving deep into all the tips, hacks, and facts you'll need to know for when it comes to getting ready for your air travel. We'll reveal tips like how to book the cheapest flight at exactly the right time, how to hack an airline's check-in process for those free upgrades, and how to pick the right line when going through TSA, or should I say, left. So grab your notepads, sit back, relax, and get ready for a first-class journey through the world of travel preparation. So let's kick things off with our first step, booking a flight. Did you know that airlines and booking websites can actually track your browsing history? If you've looked up any flights in the past, they know exactly where and when you were looking to fly. They then use this information to raise prices for when you come back to the site and are more likely to make a purchase. In most cases, they can look to raise prices up around 10% from the first time you originally looked to book a trip. But have no fear. You can avoid these sneaky tactics by simply opening up a new incognito or private window in your browser. By doing this, it will help block these companies from tracking your search information and allow you to freely monitor those trip prices as much as you want without that sneaky little 10% price hike. And speaking of finding the right price, if you're looking to save serious cash and have some flexibility, make sure you try booking your travel days for Tuesdays or Wednesdays if possible. These days are known to be the cheapest days to travel because they have less demand from the majority of other travelers. For example, most vacationers, they tend to fly out on Thursdays and Fridays and are looking for those long weekends. Meanwhile, business travelers are known to fly out at the start of a week and come back at the end for work. So with fewer people vying for seats in the middle of the week, airlines are more inclined to offer incentives and lower prices to keep planes full around these times. Not too shabby, right? Great. So now let's say you found the flight of your dreams and managed to keep your searches private in incognito mode. I bet you're still asking yourself, now when exactly is the perfect time to pull the trigger and buy this ticket? Well, here's a little golden nugget of information for you. The exact sweet spot for booking your flight is about 6 weeks before departure. This is because right around the 100 days before takeoff mark, airlines start offering lower price seats and deals to help stimulate demand. But as time goes on, those deals expire and seats start to get snatched up, causing the prices to come back up. So studies have shown the perfect sweet spot to snag your ticket before they go back up is right at the 42 days out before your flight. And finally, if you really want to double down on your timing, wait to snag the best prices for your tickets on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. This is because many airlines are known to release their pricing and weekly sales on Monday nights, which leads to the mad scramble for competitors to match or try to undercut on Tuesday mornings and throughout the day. This price matching frenzy drives the cost down even more and gives you a chance to secure that incredible deal. Timing is truly everything, my friends. Now, before we dive into more pre-flight tips and tricks, if you like what you're hearing so far, just want to remind you to make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to join our community of curious travelers. Okay, so let's get back to it and start unlocking the power of technology. Once you have your flight, when it comes to the airline you're flying with, you'll always want to make sure you download their app. Nowadays, mostly all airlines have an app available for download, and with this handy, you can manage your entire itinerary with the palm of your hands. By doing this, you'll also be able to skip the physical check-in process by doing it right through your phone, allowing you to head straight to the TSA line when you get to the airport and saving valuable time. Another plus to having the app pre-downloaded is that most airlines are now offering in-flight entertainment directly through their apps instead of the in-seat screens. So having this already on your phone will ensure you're not scrambling around right before takeoff trying to get a download in, and lets you just kick back, relax, and enjoy those long-haul flights. And finally, when it comes to saving some cash on the app, be sure to check out the airline's frequent flyer program. These programs are free to sign up for, and with every flight you purchase, including this one, you'll be able to collect miles and points towards rewards. If you fly enough, you could even earn enough points to cover the entire flight for free. Alright, so next up we have everyone's favorite topic, seating options. Choosing the right seat can make all the difference, my friends, and depending on what you're looking for out of your flight experience, you're going to want to take your seat selection very seriously. For example, if you're the type that doesn't mind being the last off the plane and want to increase your chances of having a row to yourself, the back of the plane is going to be your best bet. Then on the other hand, if you want to get off the plane as soon as possible once it lands and don't want to wait for 200 people grabbing their overhead bags for you to get off, you'll want to sit as close to the front as possible. And as a sanity saver for some of our more nervous travelers who want to avoid the effects of turbulence as much as possible, you'll want to sit as close to the wings as you can. This area is the sturdiest spot on the plane, and it helps avoid the whiplash effect felt from the back when going through those pesky air bumps. And fun fact here for those turbulence-averse friends, did you know that morning and night flights tend to have less turbulence than the midday ones? That's because cooler ground temperatures during the morning and evening hours reduce the chances of bumpy air. So if you're seeking that calmer journey, aim for those early morning or late night departures. Okay, now back to the seating chart here. Let's talk about specifically where in the row you'll want to sit. Again, this depends on what you are looking for out of your trip and what is most comfortable for you. Like if you're planning to catch some Z's during the flight, be sure to opt for a window seat. If you're more of the restless type and enjoy stretching your legs and standing up every once in a while, look for the aisle so you don't have to shuffle through the row, making your neighbors get up just so you can get out. And for those traveling with a companion, here's a fun tip to increase your chances of getting a whole row to yourselves. Make sure you book the window and aisle seats in a row instead of directly next to each other. This is because most single travelers will do everything they can to avoid the dreaded middle seat, giving you a higher chance of having that extra space. Now, of course, there is always the possibility to have someone come in and take the middle seat, but when that does happen, it's usually not a tough sell to try to get them to switch with one of your seats and make sure you still get to sit with your travel partner. The best way we found to decide who moves to the middle is to play a nice game of rock, paper, scissors. And finally, our last tip for when it comes to booking the perfect seat. This one is for all you risk takers out there who like flying American Airlines. If you're okay with the occasional gamble, we discovered this hack that most of the time gets you a free upgraded seat with extra legroom. And here's how to do it. The next time you book an economy flight, make sure you skip the seat selection when purchasing your ticket. Doing this causes the airline to wait until your check-in process to automatically assign you a seat. And here's where it gets interesting. What most people don't know is that in many cases, American Airlines will sell more economy seats than they actually have available on the plane. They do this because they're banking on the fact that a handful of travelers are willing to pay a little extra for some of those coveted upgraded seats before their flight. But what we found is that if you wait until the last possible minute to check in and you're on a fuller flight where people haven't paid for the upgrade, if the economy seats are all taken at the time of check-in, the system is forced to automatically upgrade you to the emergency exit or extra legroom seats. Now, of course, the downside to this hack is that if the airline doesn't overbook those economy seats, or if it's not a full flight, you might just end up being the last to receive a seat, which is usually in the middle or towards the back. So definitely make sure you use this hack wisely. It's a bit of a gamble, but hey, sometimes fortune favors the brave. Up next, now that we've got you all ready for booking a flight and picking your seat, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of how and what to pack. When it comes to packing, first off, to avoid any surprises and extra fees, make sure you fully read and understand the baggage policy for your airline when purchasing a ticket. Showing up to the airport with overweight bags can rack up hefty charges, sometimes up to $100, and can leave you with an open suitcase in the middle of the airport, moving things around, trying to cut weight like a UFC fighter. Alright, so now let's talk carry-ons. Remember, carry-on bags must adhere to specific dimensions in order to make the flight. Less than 10 inches deep, 16 inches wide, and 24 inches high. This is to make sure they can fit comfortably in the overhead bins on the plane. But wait, there's more. Did you know that in most cases you can also sneak in an extra bag as a personal item? Laptop bags, purses, or backpacks that are all small enough to fit under the seat in front of you are considered personal items and don't count towards your carry-on. So again, having a really good understanding of your airline's bag guidelines will help you avoid those unnecessary bag checks and keep you moving swiftly through the airport. And speaking of moving through the airport, here's what you are going to want to make sure to bring with you for a successful flight. First off, make sure you have your portable charger on hand. The ability to charge your electronics on the go has become essential, and especially now that airlines are shifting a lot of their in-flight entertainment onto personal devices. The last thing you want is to have your phone, laptop, or headphones die in the middle of a trip, cutting you off from your only source of entertainment. And speaking of laptops and batteries, did you know lithium batteries commonly found in most electronics are not allowed in checked bags? The reason for this is because they carry the risk of having a short circuit leading to a potential fire. This definitely causes a problem if it's a checked bag in the cargo bay, since there isn't much access during flight to go down there, making extinguishing a fire mid-flight very difficult. So again, another great reason why you should make sure to keep those laptops and batteries on hand when you fly, and help avoid lighting the sky up like a firework. And finally, another must-have item you'll need close by is your headphones. It's worth noting that it doesn't hurt to have both Bluetooth and wired headphones available for all situations. They'll come to your rescue when relying on in-flight entertainment systems that are on your personal device, or the situations where they're only available on the in-seat screens that you need to plug into. Okay folks, we've finally come to our last stop on our journey. We have our flights booked, we're packed and ready to go, and now it's time to navigate the airport. When it comes to departures, the last thing you'll ever want is to be pressed for time trying to make it through the airport to find your gate. And the best way to avoid this mad scramble is to know your mission and stay on top of wait time estimates with the MyTSA app as your trusty sidekick. Downloading this app helps curb airport anxiety and stay up to date with TSA wait times across the country before you even arrive at the airport. It's also an excellent resource to navigate the do's and don'ts of airport security, ensuring a stress-free journey through all the checkpoints. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to navigating the TSA line madness is this little secret. Whenever you have the choice of picking between splitting off into a right or left line, always choose the left side. Studies have shown that since most of the population is right-handed, people usually tend to default to the right lanes. This leads to more congestion and longer wait times to your right. So why not take the path less traveled and speed up your journey? Make sure you go left and increase your chances at a quick getaway. And finally, if you really want to take it to the next level and avoid not getting held up on the TSA lines altogether, the best investment you could possibly make is the TSA pre-check. After a quick background check and cool $100, this program allows you to breeze through security in your own personal line and lets you keep on your shoes, belts, and jackets on while going through for the next 5 years. It's pretty much the VIP experience of airport security, and it's worth considering if you find yourself frequently taking to the skies. Skip the lines and elevate your travel experience. Well, there you have it, fellow adventurers. Our treasure trove of facts and tips to help you get organized before your flights. Remember, organization is key to stress-free travel, so implement these strategies, stay prepared, and enjoy every moment of your journey. Bon voyage!